In less than a week, we will know whether Ohioans want a marijuana industry in the Buckeye State.
Over the past 3 weeks, we've been looking at things in Colorado, where marijuana has been legal now for more than a year. Tonight, in the final part of her marijuana series, Natalie Tendall with 2 News Investigates is back to cut through the claims and look at the real impact of marijuana in Colorado.
Well, there are a lot of claims surrounding marijuana legalization, and some say it helps the economy and brings jobs, while others say it creates more crime and puts kids at risk. The truth is, the impact is good or bad, depending on who you ask.
I think the world's looking at Colorado, and I think this is a period with this great social and economic change around controlled substances, and I think this is the test case.
Marijuana has been legal in Colorado for more than a year. It's a new industry, so it took some work to get it up and running.
It's very costly to set up this whole brand new industry and regulate it and try and enforce it. It's been quite a struggle.
Several task forces were involved in figuring out how to legalize pot in the state when it's still illegal federally. One big issue is marijuana is a cash business because banks are federally insured.
Well, I think we worry about the banking issue. I think is a real issue. It's cash business, which I think can put employees at risk, people around at risk, because that's a lot of cash to be moving around.
Colorado did not make as much money as originally estimated off pot. Last year, they brought in $44 million in new taxes. The estimate was about $30 million off. The Denver Metro Chamber of Commerce president says they've worked hard to make sure businesses know they can still have a drug-free workplace in the state.
Isn't that beautiful?
She says there's one positive change they've noticed: an increase in commercial property sales.
The operations that grow marijuana utilize often underutilized commercial industrial big warehouses. These tend to be less expensive commercial space. We saw the price go up for those spaces when marijuana was legalized.
Places like Mindful are using those facilities. CEO Meg Sanders says her business does more than just help the real estate side of things.
And there's this whole ancillary side of security teams and marketing teams and packaging and you name it that comes along with this, not to mention the huge boost to the economy that we've done in particular with contractors, HVAC, plumbers. I mean, it's massive, huge opportunity for everybody.
Not everyone in the state has the same opinion.
So do you think that the legalization of marijuana had a negative impact in Colorado?
I would say that ultimately it probably isn't good for our society.
Erie Police Chief Marco Vasquez says law enforcement has had challenges identifying drug drivers and keeping the legal marijuana from leaving the state. He says crime has gone up, but there's no way to know if it's because of legalizing pot.
I will tell you, I think it is more complex for law enforcement because it is there's a lot more gray area.
Once anyone over 21 could get pot in the state, another concern was how easy could kids get it. The state now requires all edible products, such as pot gummies and marijuana candy bars, to be put in a specific type of package.
Somehow that food has to look different. There has to be an identifier on it.
While there are a number of specific issues still being hammered out at Colorado's State House, the general opinion we got from those in the state was marijuana hasn't really changed their day-to-day lives that much.
And I don't think there are really that many widespread disastrous impacts.
Whether for or against pot, the leaders in Colorado leave this advice to Ohio or any other state wanting to take on legal marijuana.
When it becomes the law, it becomes the law, no matter what your position on it was, and you better figure out how to make it work.
Now, Ohio's marijuana proposal is different from Colorado's law. Now, we've broken down those differences on our website at WDTN.com. You can also find all of our past stories there underneath the Investigations tab. Natalie Tendall, 2 News Investigates.